I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
He is terrible!
We gotta know how many wieners are going down these big stones.
I'm gonna go quick because I don't give a fuck about anything that's gonna happen on Saturday.
Hello, boys! We are back with another edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. I am your host. I am the host.
Did you forget your name?
I'm the guy from Nashville.
Do you want me to take over?
No. Yeah, that ain't happening. But he's back again. Look at this. Is this 4 out of 5 weeks?
I think so, but it's also your guys' fault that I did not join last week.
It was Jay's fault.
Yeah,
you guys are too busy. You guys fucking traveling, trying to share the coronavirus all over the states. Like, you guys need to chill out and stay home for once.
I was in Boston again this week, which I love. And my Uber driver asked me if I had seen the Smart Pack commercial, which just a Boston accent guy talking about that. It was worth the trip right there. That's the greatest commercial I've seen in years.
So bad.
What? You didn't like that commercial?
I mean, I'm surprised that fucking Uber driver liked that commercial. Like, I feel like most Boston people feel like it's fucking stupid.
No, that's how they talk.
Well, no shit, that's how they talk. But none of those people in that commercial, except one, were fucking actually from Massachusetts.
I think all of them were from Boston, besides Poppy. I thought.
No, none of them were.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they did a good accent. Smart Pack. Really?
Yep.
You gotta do what you can.
Well, I thought that... No, you're wrong. I just looked up John Krasinski. He's from Boston.
Yeah, but he's not from fucking where they actually have those accents.
Boston, yeah, he doesn't have the natural accent. He doesn't have a Ben Affleck.
No.
They're both from Boston. What are you talking about?
Boston
Sean, admit it.
No, Boston, it's not all of Boston that has that accent.
Yes, it is.
No, it's only a part of Boston.
No, it's not. It's all of Boston.
You're wrong.
I'm right.
No. It's like New York, Lance. Not everybody has the same accent.
Yeah.
They have a different variation of it.
There's a Long Island accent. There's a Brooklyn accent.
Those were all Boston. Yeah, but New York's different than Boston. Boston's tiny.
Thick
have you been to Boston?
You
could walk Boston.
Obviously, I've been to Boston.
Smart Pack.
Fuck's sakes.
I just looked it up. All those human beings are from Boston.
Yes, they're from Boston, but they're not from the area where that fucking...
What area? Have you been to Boston? You could throw a rock from one side to the other. You're talking about Southie. It's not just the Southies that have that accent. It's people in Boston.
No.
I mean, some people have a thicker accent than others. Some of them try to make it sound like they don't have that accent because they're embarrassed by it.
Have you been to Boston, Sean?
I haven't, but I know a guy from Boston that talked about it.
So a guy from Boston
talked about it? What did he tell you?
He said that,
I can't wait till people listen to this.
He said he didn't really get... He basically said
the Canadian guy telling us American folks who grew up in the Northeast.
Oh, because you American people are so fucking worldly.
Yeah, we're so worldly and smart. We've got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Boston's a tiny little city.
We got the CDC here, Sean.
So in the United States, we have states and cities. So maybe you're confusing Massachusetts with the city of Boston.
I'm aware of fucking city and states. Do you know how many people?
You?
He knows cities, but they don't have states.
Do you really want to compare fucking average world knowledge of an average American to an average Canadian? It's a fucking joke. You have no idea.
I'm talking strictly the city of Boston.
I'm telling you, a guy from Boston said that none of those people are from where that accent is from.
That just doesn't make any sense because that's a Boston accent. They all talk like that.
It's not specifically. It is a Boston accent. I understand that, but the exact accent, like those people. John Krasinski doesn't sound like a fucking Boston person.
Dude, if you ever watched a movie, have you seen an English actor with an American accent?
Yeah, they're actors, dude. Yeah. If they're not playing someone from Boston, they're not going to have a Boston accent. He can't be playing a part where he's from Tennessee and be like, smart pack.
So you've seen a fucking interview with John Krasinski where he sounds like fucking, I want smart pack. Like, that's what he sounds like.
No, he doesn't want to sound like that.
They're obviously exaggerating the accents for the commercial, but Boston is Boston. Boston is a very small city.
They're also vocally trained.
Of course. They're actors.
Yeah. So they don't want that accent.
I don't know what to tell you. There's a guy from Boston saying this shit.
I think your made-up friend is not from Boston.
I mean, he's not my friend. He's a fucking Boston guy from a podcast.
Hello, my friends.
What? A Boston guy from what? I'm confused.
They talked about it on a podcast I listened to. It's a hockey podcast.
What, Spitting Chicklets?
Yeah.
What? Oh, what do they split it? They split a brain cell?
What?
The guy isn't a hockey player. He just follows hockey. But he's from Boston. I mean, he's a fucking actor. I mean, he talked about it.
I don't think you're realizing how small Boston is.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just relaying what a fucking Boston person told me.
Jay, help me out here.
I mean, Jay agreed with me. He says the fucking New York people have different accents depending on the verbals they are.
Yes, that is New York. New York is gigantic. Did you know Boston is smaller than Nashville?
By land, I think so. Yes.
By people.
Well, not the region. Though. Yeah, but the region around Boston has a lot of people, and so within like a 15-mile radius. Way greater, more than Nashville.
But the city of Boston is tiny, and I understand like different parts of Boston might have slightly different accents, but it's not like they don't have accents in part of Boston.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
You should stop listening to that podcast.
Just relaying info from a better source than you. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Bad source. Barstool Sports source.
a legit Boston person source.
I don't know. That just makes no sense. You can like walk to one side of Boston to the other. That's how small it is. I've done it.
I'm surprised you can walk that far.
Maybe your friend's from New Hampshire, and he thinks that's Boston.
He's straight up from fucking Boston. Well, I'm glad we've had this conversation about, Boston accents. It's a good way to start a shitty MMA podcast, right? Accent.
I mean, what else better? I mean, Sean Brady's fighting this week, so I mean that kind of makes sense.
There we go. We got it.
He's not from Boston.
I'm pretty sure about that. I think he is.
I was making fun of Sean.
Oh. Well, there's not much going on in the MMA world except Stipe Miocic somehow wants to fight a boxer again. We're playing this game, and it's...
everybody wants to fight him. Ngannou wants to fight Fury.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking waste of time.
We
shouldn't even be talking about it.
They don't even deserve
it. Is Stipe still the champ?
How frightening is that?
He hasn't fought in years.
How awesome is it when the heavyweight championship is actually fought a decent amount? When's the last time it's been defended more than twice in a year?
Probably when Cormier had it.
No, Cormier. Well, no, I think Cormier only defended it twice last year. Because he fought what? He fought Derek Lewis and he fought Stipe.
Does that count, Derek Lewis?
Exactly.
I mean, it's a fight.
And then Stipe fucking was injured, and then it's so bad. I don't know what the fuck Stipe is waiting for. They're waiting for.
He's waiting for Tyson Fury. That's what he's waiting for.
No, he's hurt.
He's gonna be waiting forever.
He's
strip him. Fuck me.
He has a fake illness or something.
I just don't understand why someone thinks it makes sense to fight somebody from a different sport.
It doesn't. They're just trying to get their name out there, and it's a waste of fucking time for everybody. It's so stupid. All these MMA fighters trying to fight boxers. Dude, you're not even worth it to them.
No, not in that dude's case.
I think Canelo or someone made a comment was basically what? No. When they asked if he would fight some UFC guy or whatever, he was like, no, what? Who is that?
He's like, no, I'll just fight scrubs in boxing and make fucking $20 million every time I fight. $30 million.
Yeah. Should we talk about last week's card?
Yeah, we can
talk about finishes.
Looking at it, there were 6 finishes, half the fights. I guess that's a good thing.
And they're early.
First fight, Whoopi, Priscilla Cachoeira, I thought was one of the worst fighters in MMA.
Turns out, no.
Turns out, knocked out. Well, maybe she's the second worst fighter because she knocked out someone named Shayna Dobson in the first round. Angela Hill beat Loma Lookboonmee, which I think we all thought was going to happen. Kai Kara France and Tyson Nam was a pretty decent fight, but Kai Kara France won. I think we all thought that was going to happen. We all like Song Kanan over Callan Potter. Blah. I guess this was fairly close. Classic Jake Matthews decision. I mean, can this guy ever finish people? Like, I just don't get it. Jalen Turner, TKO victory over Josh Culebao. And then I guess the lone fight that really mattered on the undercard, impressive performance by the Habib protege, Zubair Tukagov, TKOing Kevin Aguilar, who I thought had a granite chin. That was pretty surprising, I thought, to get an early finish there. Shaun, I'll let you kind of give your thoughts.
Glad they got the women's fight over and done with in 40 seconds. Nothing wrong with that. Boomy, fuck you, lost. It was a bit closer than I expected. I thought Angela Hill would be able to dominate that. She did pretty decent. Other than that, yeah, the Matthews-Meek fight was a lot closer than I expected. Matthews really got to get out of his dad's training room. He's got to get somewhere that actually has skills.
Is this a worse training ground than Glover Teixeira's garage in Connecticut?
Fuck yeah. The garage is way better.
Lance, is that a better take?
I'm sorry, I'm just reading about Boston accents, and Shaun couldn't be more wrong. I just don't even have words for it. It's like they actually say it even extends into outside of Boston into parts of New Hampshire, Rhode Island. Anyway, yeah, I agree.
No, I said what's a worse training facility? Jake Matthews with his dad in Australia, or Glover Teixeira's garage?
I mean, do you get raped at either of those?
I can't speak to that.
Well, then Lloyd Orban's gym is worse.
Well, we don't know. I mean, there could be raping going on at both of those gyms. We just don't. We're just not
little father-son rape.
Father-son day, great.
Yeah. Was it?
Maybe that's why I have to keep winning.
What is it? NAMBLA? What is that thing? The
NAMBLA.
Is that what it is?
Man Boy Love Association, I think.
Yeah.
NAMBLA. Fuck's sake.
NAMBLA. Don't search it on your work laptop.
Don't search it anywhere.
Unless you want to get some viruses.
Yeah.
No, it's a free country.
Oh, those kind of viruses. Oh, yeah.
Corona?
Yeah, I mean, you might get one of those, too. You might get someone put through your door with it.
Yeah.
Did you watch these fights, Lance? Did you make any money on the prelim card?
I had a parlay that had Jake Matthews and Song, I think. I hit that one, and then I lost on Kevin Aguilar.
Yeah, that was surprising. I mean, I gave Tukov a decent chance of winning, but knocking Kevin Aguilar out in the first round, did not see that coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget what I was. I think I was 2-2. I hit in the under on the Jimmy Crute fight, and then I lost the Paul Felder decision.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Fair. All right, move on to the main card. Brad Riddell, disappointing to us, as this was the consensus, defeated Magomed Mustafayev by the split decision. I didn't see it. Shaun, tell me about this.
It shouldn't have been a split. Riddell won 2 of the rounds, I thought.
What's going on with Mustafayev? This guy at one point was like one of the hottest prospects.
Well, he took like 8 years off.
Yeah, what was he doing during that time? Do we even want to know? I don't think we want to know.
I don't think
we probably can't talk about it on this podcast.
Not unless you want to get murdered by some sketchy Russian.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Lance, you saw this one or no?
I did.
Uh-huh.
No thoughts.
Okay. Heavyweight.
Random Russian number 7 lost.
Yeah, he's got a big beard, but so does everyone else. All right. Marcos Rogerio de Lima TKOing Ben Sassoli. I don't know. Lance, did you bet on Sassoli like a fool?
Oh, what's the other one I lost? Yes.
What was
That
he?
was
Jesus.
That was a bad beat.
No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy he's terrible. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that De Lima is even in the UFC, but he keeps knocking out these shitty other heavyweights, so props to him, I guess.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that.
I can't believe he had power and stuff. Like, he's garbage.
Who's Soli or Rogerio De Lima?
Yeah, like I've never he's had some knockouts heavyweight, but his punches actually looked like he was throwing some heat.
Yeah, he kind of does. We tend to agree with you.
He's just terrible. But
yeah, he's just terrible.
That's heavyweight for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Next fight, Lance probably shed a tear or two, I think, here. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, one of Lance's personal favorites.
She's so hot.
Did you see her after the fight?
Yeah, did you see her post-fight?
I saw her a couple days ago on Instagram looking fine as hell with those sunglasses on.
That's probably the only way she had to wear sunglasses day and night.
She's low-key the hottest chick in MMA.
Lance hasn't seen a lot of MMA recently.
Yeah. She is.
No.
Yes.
I mean, she has good features. We don't need to go here.
Who's better looking than her?
A lot.
She's so fucking washed. Like, she really needs to retire.
I don't care about her fighting style. It's women's MMA. It's like the thing I care about the
I know, but if she keeps getting beat up like this, she's not going to be hot anymore, and then what else is she going to do?
She's going to walk around like a zombie with applesauce in her brain.
That's fine. We're talking about how hot she is. You're missing this.
She can't smile. If she physically can't smile, it's going to be bad.
She's fine. She's getting hit by 115-pound women. Like, what's the worst?
They're doing some damage.
I mean, yeah, they're doing damage. Come on, Lance. You saw her face. Oh yeah, the glasses were hiding it. That's right.
And I don't really pay attention to women's fighting.
That's fair.
Yeah. Hot though.
Yeah. Jimmy Crute. This was a win. And this is like a Wes guy. I feel like Wes has like a huge crush on Jimmy Crute. He took out Mikel Olson, whatever this guy's last name is.
Candy.
Kimura? Like, I didn't know anybody wins by Kimura in this day and age in MMA.
You gotta be pretty bad to get submitted by Kimura, I think.
I agree. Like,
that's only for heavyweight and light heavyweight.
No, that's key lock.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Kimura. The only submission that might be like even like more pathetic to be submitted by is key lock.
Yeah, key lock's the worst you can get submitted by. Because like high level jiu-jitsu guys usually like they have some good Kimuras. A key lock that just means really like I don't understand.
A guy that used to fight in Bellator. I remember he beat somebody by key locks. I forgot like a couple of years ago. Oh, I forget.
Key locks are in.
Key locks.
Timmy Big Dick Johnson, you see him?
Oh shit! It's like what was he a plus 600?
Plus 600? Yeah.
Who did he beat?
Tyrell Fortune.
Did he win by key lock?
No, he knocked him out
his ass
instantly.
out.
Oh, good for Timmy Big Dick.
Yeah, huge underdog.
Is he in PFL?
Going.
No, Bellator.
No, Bellator.
Oh my god! I thought he was in PFL for a while. Maybe
I can't. I don't know the difference between the two.
Been rocking that dirty duster in Bellator for a while.
Dirty duster, yeah, it's pretty dirty.
He's a good looking man.
There's worse looking humans out there.
Is there? Is there?
Yeah, just a couple. Not many though.
Bernie Sanders.
Agreed. Main event. Daniel Hooker and Paul Felder split decision. Went to Hooker. Nushan, did Hooker win this fight?
I don't think so, but I mean it's not a robbery. I bet Hooker. I expected him to do a decent amount better, but Felder looked really good. He looked really in shape, and his striking was on point. But I definitely gave Felder the second round and the fourth and the fifth, I believe. Fairly close fight, but I thought Felder, in those close rounds, he was landing the harder shots, and that was about it. But glad that it went the way it did for my money, but it's kind of unfortunate for Felder, who has talked about retiring possibly.
Felder's been talking about retirement? I mean,
well,
he's got a bet.
After the fight, he did.
In the cage, he retired. He said he was done.
Well, he said, and then now they've kind of walked it back a little bit.
His coach did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really close. I thought, to me, it came down to the fifth. I thought the first was obviously Hooker. I thought Felder took the second. Third was obviously Hooker. I thought Felder for sure took the fourth. Then it comes down to the fifth, which I thought was really close. And I think it's funny. All the people that always complain about wrestlers were the ones that scored the fifth round for Hooker for laying on top of him and doing nothing for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And it's funny the biases in scoring when it comes to bets or picks and stuff like that, because Paul Felder was putting it on him in that fifth round, the first 2-3 minutes, and then Hooker got that takedown, but nothing was done with that takedown. Like
Nope.
There was a point where like Felder got up and he got tossed back down or reverse or something like that, but like was there any ground and pound really even thrown outside of a couple punches?
No, he didn't land pretty much anything.
And if I got to rewatch the fight, but like if I recall, like Felder was kind of lighting him up pretty good in that round.
Yep.
So it's I won't complain about that. I mean, the judges' scorecards were bad though. Like one judge had Felder winning the third. One judge I think two judges had Hooker winning the fourth, which is literally impossible. Like it was the scores were bad. Like I was okay with the 48-47 and I had no complaints. And then I saw the scores and I was like, oh, come on. Like even in close fights where you go no robbery either way, judges find a way to go, oh, you fucked it up.
All three judges had the fourth for Felder, so they did get that right.
Was it the fourth? Maybe there was one round. Maybe it was the third I'm thinking of where they gave it to Hooker. That was the biggest ridiculous one.
The third, two of the judges gave it to Hooker, and one of them gave it to Felder. Yeah,
like that was not a close round.
No, at
all.
Yeah, and if that flips, then that guy actually had Felder winning anyway. So, it was weird fucking judging. It pretty much came down. I guess it didn't really come down. The one judge had the first three for Hooker.
Yeah,
he was kind of the deciding judge. So
I found it interesting. Two of the three judges had Hooker winning the second too.
Yeah, like fucking, I don't know what the fuck they were on.
Like it makes no sense.
That's that awesome judging we're always used to.
Yeah, because if you're scoring, to me it was 2 and 4 for Felder for sure, and 1 and 3 for Hooker for sure, and only one judge. Howard Hughes was the only one that scored it how I did, with the fifth round being a coin flip. But I mean, bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just what we're used to now. That's why, I don't know, you can't get too bent out of shape because it doesn't seem like it ever changes, and a lot of time it's government run, and everybody knows how governments, nothing really changes, and
yeah.
So yeah, people get upset about judging and stuff like that. It's like if you're getting that upset, then you should probably not be betting however much you're betting on fights then, because that's the risk you take when you're putting money on this shit show of a whatever you want to call it, a sport.
You know what makes me more mad than anything? Not even robberies. You know what makes me mad? When MMA media or people in MMA decisions score fights that had no 10-8 rounds a draw. That makes me more mad than anything.
Oh, they drop in 10-10s. That's
not a thing, though. You can't do it.
Yeah, I thought that's not even allowed. I thought you have to score a round for someone.
Isn't it 10-9 must?
That's what I thought.
I think that might be a new thing where they can actually give 10-10s, but they never have it.
If you're posting on Twitter or doing the media scores or whatever the fuck, and you post a draw, just come on, man, just score the fight. Give me a fucking break. Fucking assholes.
Yeah,
we suck.
They don't want to lose their access. They'll call it they'll score it a draw so that they can interview both of the fighters and piss anybody off, because So then they can make their $15 an hour or whatever the hell it is.
Draw. Jackasses. I hate human beings.
Yeah, because a couple of them called this one a draw, and none of the rounds were a 10-8, right? On MMA decisions.
Say that again?
Is that what you, like...
MMA decisions, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of people had... Oh, just one person had it as a draw, but...
I'm looking through this guy's Twitter right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he get it? Where's he...
Get what?
Oh, What?
Did he give somebody a 10-8?
The round score. I was like, what are you talking about?
He scored the first a 10-10.
Yep, there we go.
That's not allowed. How they?
And that was not even a remotely close round, if I recall.
Yeah,
that round was all Hooker all day.
Yeah.
10-10. What an idiot!
I mean, the judging, the media. It's. We know this sport is a shit show.
Yes, it is.
And he wrote, "Stop giving rounds that could go either way to one fighter." Well, listen, motherfucker. What
Lance, you have a nemesis. You have a nemesis now.
I absolved from the scoring. Judge just throws his pencil in the air and walks away from the cage.
What a jackass this guy is.
I know.
He's
I don't
just
know who this
making
guy
the rules
is.
up. He shouldn't
But
even be
I
allowed to
hate
judge
him.
again. If they're allowed, if it's a must system, he shouldn't be allowed to judge again.
Well, this guy's just an MMA douchebag.
Yeah, he's just a dumbass.
I see.
Oh, guess where he's from, Sean?
Canada.
Fucking Boston.
Oh.
You think he's got the smart pack?
I don't think he's got the smart pack.
His favorite food's a hot dog. He likes coffee in the morning. He likes to take walks in the park. I get it. I was born right outside of Boston, Sean. Did you know that?
I can tell by that accent.
Yeah, like 45 minutes from Boston.
It's really thick, that Boston accent.
You know, it's that fucking Nashua, New Hampshire accent.
Like, why is Norfolk, Virginia getting a title fight?
First of all, what is Norfolk, Virginia?
And it's not really. I mean, it's flyweight. Does it really count, Jay?
I don't know. Ask Lance.
That
awesome. Is Lance's weight division. So
this fight's awesome. Do you think I can still get down? I think I can get down to 125. How much money do you think it would take to motivate me to get
weight
that?
Now?
I'm about 160.
Yes.
I have almost no fat on me.
But it would take some time.
Yeah.
But I think you could.
I don't think so. I think
you could definitely get down to
What did you wrestle at in high school?
125. And that was
There's no way you're getting down to that.
They're probably not. All the alcohol over the years, I don't think your body would be.
I think if someone paid me like 10 G's, I could get down to 135.
I think you could get down to 135. I think you've added too much, from just probably alcohol, honestly.
No, I'm thick. I got just tons of muscle all over me.
Well, if that's the case, then
the
that'll be
alcohol,
hard to cut then.
Your body can't cut the alcohol that you've had since high school, so.
That's possible. I mean, when you look at flyweights, like, they're a lot shorter than me.
Not much.
Like, Benavidez is what, like 5'2"?
How tall are you?
You know, a cunt hair away from 5'8".
That's
5.5.
Pushing it, Lance.
It's 5'7.5".
Bullshit.
What?
Figueiredo's 5'5".
I'm taller than Brad.
I mean, that's not saying much, Lance.
I'm 5'7.5".
Yeah, I mean, Figueiredo's 5'5". This says Benavidez is 5'4".
There's no fucking way. He is not 5'4".
Might have had the wedges on.
Oh, he borrowed his wife's shoes.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, let's do this. I haven't looked at the card yet. Fair warning, fans.
Perfect.
I'm back.
Glad you're warning people.
Who are these people? I don't know who any of the first 6 people are.
No one else knows them either.
You know the first 2. Well, maybe you don't.
Usually when I click on a name and I look at who he's fought, I kind of remember them. Like this guy, Ishmael, this fella. I think I remember him now.
Tractor.
Yeah, I remember him.
Saw it coming.
I bet on Sire Bahadurzada and lost.
Oh, I do remember that. That was hilarious.
I always bet on Sire Bahadurzada, and
that's
I
a smart
always
bet right
lose.
there.
I won a couple times. Brandon Thatch fight, big monies.
Was that like 5 years ago now?
You know what? Don't fucking rain on my parade, okay? Canadian bastard.
Shit. All right, Jay, let's fucking do this. Let's break this bitch down.
Yeah, I got so much info on this one, but let's chat about it. All right, the first fight, I'm pretty sure it was the Boston guy. I mean, look
he's
at
from Philly. He's from Philly.
Sean Brady?
From Philly.
He seems like a Boston guy, though.
He does.
He's got a Boston name. Taking on Ismail Nordiev. Should be a pretty decent fight, Sean, right?
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty decent volume. In Brady's first fight in the UFC, he fought Court McGee. I bet on him, and I expected a bit more from him. He wasn't able to put away McGee. I mean, McGee's pretty tough, but he was getting hit a lot by Court McGee, which is not the greatest look. I think Nordiev's a pretty decent amount better than Court McGee in the striking game. So I think he's going to have an edge in the stand-up. I think he'll have an edge in cardio, and his takedowns might be even a little bit better. I know Brady's got decent wrestling, but I think Nordiev's decent enough that I took a 1 unit shot on him at like minus 125, I believe, minus 126. So I expect him to win the decision. Just expected more from Brady first time out. Maybe it was UFC jitters, but I didn't like his striking defense, that's for sure.
All right, Lance, any thoughts on this one? I assume no.
This dude's a fighter, and one of them's gonna win. So I'm gonna go.
Which one's the fighter?
I'm just going through all my knowledge. I'm pretty good at this. I have no idea who Sean Brady is. I don't remember him fighting. I didn't know Court McGee was still in the UFC. There's a lot of things here that I'm confused about.
Kind of is. He's kind of not.
I'm going to take the Austrian Wonder Boy.
That's a great nickname.
Yeah, it's not bad. 10 minutes. Max bet.
I like Nordiev in this fight. I think he's a pretty good prospect, pretty young. The chance for count fight was a little weird, but he has pretty good wins over Mikel Prazeres and over Sire. Sean Brady, pretty active, but I think Nordiev is just from a talent perspective is a couple levels above Brady. So he's going to win this fight. The price to bet him is minus 125. It's really cheap. I think it's worth a bet. All right, let's go to something called Alan Cruz taking on Spike Carlisle Group. I mean, I don't think that's
Spike Dudley, bro.
Dude, after looking at the pictures, I'm going to have a bet on this one.
I'm gonna take a look at some pictures too now. Wow, yeah. I like show and tell. Let's see what we got. All right, yeah. Sean, you can go first.
Oh, I don't have much here. Spike Dudley is beating a 2-0 fighter to get into the UFC. I mean, this is a late notice fight.
Spike
he's jacked though. I only saw his headshot. This dude's big.
He's bricked up. He's a bricked up ginger. That's for damn
sure. He's a jacked ginger. What do I do here? It's like, wow.
Oh, you fade him.
But I can't. He's jacked. He's a big, strong guy.
He's not big.
If I remember correctly, Cruz.
What? He's huge.
Lance, do you see this picture of Alan Cruz? Do you see the picture on Tapology? Oh, this is freaking great.
No, I don't use.
I'm not sure this is a real picture.
Sure does.
I gotta show you. I'm posting this in the thing.
Yeah,
oh my god, that's some artsy picture on the old Tapology of Alan Cruz.
I know. I gotta send this.
He looks hot.
And Spike Dudley is definitely less bricked up in his Tapology.
He's really rocking those
compared
jeans.
to.
I know. Why are they so shiny?
Oh no.
By the way, that head, like his head, doesn't look real. It looks like like Bigfoot Silva. It looks gigantic on his body.
This is clearly a pass. I mean, you got the Jack Ginger versus the model Mexican guy. I don't know what to do here.
I don't think I can bet shiny pants.
Yeah, this is a complete pass. Cruz had a wicked flying knee knockout, but if I remember correctly before that, it wasn't a very interesting fight. So, big pass. Hopefully the Spike Dudley, the bricked up ginger, can put in work.
So, I might have to change my pick here.
Oh, shit.
Why?
Because this bricked out ginger's nickname is the Alpha Ginger.
Oh God! I mean, there has to be one, right?
Yeah, that's worth a unit. That's worth a unit. This gigantic, jacked, long-haired ginger's name is the Alpha Ginger.
Is he the big strong guy of the week, Lance?
Should we bring that back?
That's been a while since that's.
I mean, who would have thought? It's gone for 5 years and it comes back for this 145-pound ginger fella.
Yeah, usually they're a little more darker complexion than the ginger for the big strong.
I don't know if white guys were ever allowed to be the big strong guy of the week because they just can't be as strong.
It's true.
We're weak. Bear Jew, he could be the big strong guy. My peeps.
It's pushing it.
Who, the ginger? Your boy? Spike Carlisle? I got nothing on this fight. I don't care. Let's move on.
Did you see him? It's huge.
He looks like Spike. He looks like Sam Alvey, though.
No, Sam Alvey
has no muscles at all.
And no muscles.
Look at his face. He keeps smiling, this guy.
Maybe he's happy. Hold on. This next guy's nickname is oh, I read that wrong. Carry on.
There's Jordan Griffin, who we've seen before, taking on something called TJ Brown.
This guy's terrible.
TJ Brown. Shaun, what do you know about him? Anything?
No. He was on the Contender Series, but I really don't remember him. Jordan Griffin's the guy that looks like he should be good and then just doesn't seem to be. I guess his losses aren't bad in hindsight. He lost to Dan Ige and Chaz Skelly, but he should win this. But yeah, he's just one of those guys that doesn't seem to be as good as what he looks like, I guess.
He's probably not.
Pick by nickname, I guess.
What are the nicknames?
The Native
Jordan,
Psycho?
The Native Psycho versus TJ Downtown Brown.
Downtown Brown.
That's not bad.
But he doesn't look like a Downtown Brown.
What is a Downtown? What's Major League 3?
He's not cool. Downtown? He's not Downtown Julie Brown.
What was the guy's name from Major League 3? The bad Major League. It was horrible.
No, I've never seen the third one. I will not do that. Yeah, shame on you.
Well, I had to try it. This was a long time ago. It's the minor league.
You didn't have to try it.
It was 1998.
Billy Downtown Anderson?
Didn't even rhyme.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
really bad.
Billy Downtown Anderson. It's not real names. Why couldn't you pick something that rhymes with downtown?
Right.
That's how good that movie was.
Yeah. He sucks, in my opinion. Come on, Lancer. Do you have a play here or no?
I don't even know who these people are. I'm just looking at their nicknames, Jay. Move on. So far, I'm not mad. I'm missing the fights.
I'll go with Jordan Griffin because TJ Brown looks terrible. Let's move on. We got Steve Garcia taking on new Shaun protege, Luis Pena.
Violent Bob Ross.
The violent one.
It's a bit of a weird fight. I think there's a couple different cancellations for old Violent Bob Ross. So this is a late notice opponent for him. Garcia looked okay on the Contender Series. Got some decent wins on the regional scene, but
he's also lost to Joe Warren.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. What year was it?
And Alan Cruz.
What year was it, though? That's a different story.
July 2017 against Warren. And he lost to Alan Cruz, who we just talked about, Mr. Shiny Pants, in June 2018. Look at that drop in knowledge.
Luis Pena should win, but I feel like his odds are always inflated because everybody wants to bet him. So I'll pass, but I think he wins.
He's certainly bigger than the other guy.
Lance,
are you going to do anything with this one, or you're a pass?
I don't know who Steve Garcia is.
Steve Garcia Jr., have some respect.
That's right.
Oh, I know him. I thought you were talking about his dad. Steve Garcia is a very popular name in the United States of America.
It's not unpopular.
I know. It's very popular. That's what I said. I don't know. Luis Pena is pretty good, but he's also not very good. So,
touche.
Analysis. I guess pass?
It's a hard pass. Smart.
Yeah, hard pass.
Got to pick your spots.
I'm not
right,
watching
Lance?
it either, so I won't feel the need to throw money away. God, who would fucking Sergey Spivak? What is this card? This card was from hell. I picked the best card ever to miss. I haven't missed a card in a while, but man, did I nail it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking about here. Yeah, Marcin Tybura, we know, versus Sergey Spivak. I know Spivak. I swear I've seen him fight.
Yeah, he tapped out Tai Tuivasa. He also got knocked out by Walt Harris.
Yeah. I'm looking at the picture. Yes, of course, I know him. He did get knocked out by Walt Harris against Tuivasa. I mean, Marcin Tybura can't knock out anybody, though.
He's also lost 4 of his last 5.
Remember when he was a pretty highly touted prospect? Those were the days.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Shitty heavyweights is hard to put your money on. I would side with Spivak. He's the younger fighter, has shown some decent skills, and Tybura looks absolutely fucking washed. And like you said, he can't even finish anybody decent. So I think Spivak knocks him out.
Lance?
Lance, we need some in-depth breakdown on this one.
Spivak.
Yeah,
well,
nice
I've seen.
Opinion.
I'm trying to. Where's Sherdog? I'm trying. I know. Obviously, Tybura. He's terrible.
Yep.
That's a fair point.
Who did you say Spivak beat?
He beat Tai Tuivasa.
He's not good.
No,
he's not.
Especially on the ground.
He's not terrible though.
Yeah, he's terrible.
But God, why is Tybura still in the fucking UFC? He's lost 4 or 5.
Because heavyweight is a dumpster fire.
That's a good question. No one knows the answer to
that. I guess I'll go with Spivak because his nickname's the Polar Bear, and that makes absolutely no sense. So I'm down for that. He has no hair in his body. Why would he be called the Polar Bear? You know, if Timmy Big Dick Johnson wants to be the Polar Bear, then fucking yes he is. But this guy, no.
Yikes, Lance. Yikes. All right. I thought I had a grade on Spivak. Let me see if I can find it. D+ for Spivak, D+ for Tybura. I mean, I think it comes down to that. Like, Tybura's lost 4 of his last 5. He's got Pillsbury Doughboy hands. He can't hurt anybody on the feet. He can't knock him out. I think this kind of works to Spivak's advantage. I think he could get the win here. I don't love this fight for a bet, but I think Spivak could be worth some consideration. But at -120 for me, I would pass. It's just not worth it. All right, let's move up to this one. Should be one of the better fights in the card. Brendan Allen and the return of Tom Breeze. New Sean. He's British, so he's kind of like you, Canadian, part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, close. We're pretty much the same people.
Yeah, cousins.
Yeah, not distant cousins. Breeze is decent. It's just he never fights. He took 2 years off, and now he hasn't fought almost in it's been about 8 or 10 months. He's got good skills. Brendan Allen is a decent fighter as well, but Breeze has got good striking. He's got a good cardio, and his striking defense is pretty solid as well. Whereas Brendan Allen gets hit a lot. That's what we saw in the Holland fight. So if Tom Breeze was a little more active, I'd go a little bit bigger on him. But seeing as he's got a lot of question marks, along with his mental game is a bit sketchy, so I'll keep it small. I played him for 1 unit at -122.
Okay, Lance.
Who did you take? I wasn't listening.
Tom Breeze.
I'll go Brandon Allen.
Smart.
Brendan Allen.
Smart.
I like him, and I want to fade you on this one anyway.
That's fair.
You don't like Allen? I really like him.
Breeze is good, man.
He's average. He is average.
Allen gets hit a lot.
Breeze has fought once in the last 4 years, which doesn't seem like a lot of time.
No,
that's not a lot of fights. Every 2 years, he's like, I'll show up, and he's English.
True.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
What is Allen good at?
Guys.
What's Allen good at?
He's wrestling.
He's jiu-jitsu, right? He's a good jiu-jitsu guy? So a guy who hasn't fought in 4 years, you can't wrestle versus a really good jiu-jitsu guy.
Hey, he's fought once in 4 years, not 0 times.
Oh, sorry. Once in 4 years. Did he win?
Yeah, he did.
I love Brendan Allen in this fight.
Oh, shit.
This is my favorite pick. This is my favorite fight of the card.
Bree's got good jiu-jitsu, too.
Does he?
Yeah.
So did Kevin Holland, apparently.
Kevin Holland is a fucking fish on the ground, sir.
He's like a virgin off his back, yeah.
I don't see Breeze's goal. I assume to keep it standing and throw weak jabs. What do you think his goal is?
Yeah.
Here?
Oh yeah, he's just gonna jab him to death. He trains a TriStar. He's gonna jab him to death.
Well, I'll take the Rufus Sport guy.
Ugh, that's.
Yeah, we know that
Sport is not.
Ashton's got him ready to roll.
If you say so. I kind of favor Allen too, just because I like his ground game. And I think he's tougher and throws more volume than Breeze. Breeze is super long, and I think is awkward for some folks, but he doesn't maintain a high volume, and his offensive ground game is pretty poor. Like Nushan said, he could threaten with some submissions, but I think Allen takes him down and kind of beats him up from like a range he's comfortable with. I think that's enough to win the fight. Let's see. We got this is the preliminary headliner. Gabriel Silva taking on Kyler Phillips. Are these real names?
Allegedly.
Who the hell is Kyler Phillips?
He likes the chicken parm.
Oh.
So you know who's betting on
He trains in Arizona?
You betcha.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know anything about either of these guys, I'll be honest. I don't even remember Gabriel Silva's fight with Borg. That was half a year ago, 3/4 of a year ago. I don't really remember that. I don't even know what the fucking odds are on this. It's a coin flip. Well, I'll take the Brazilian. I'll take Silva.
Are these real people? Like, is this card like fucking with me to like make fun of my lack of knowledge of low-level humans?
No.
Well, this is what you get when you go to Norfolk, Virginia.
It's Norfolk.
Whatever.
That's the way I say it. It's probably more like your way. That's fine. This is my New Jersey accent. It's fine. Lance, I know you don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion either. I don't care about this fight.
I'm just going to look these people up to see if they're real, because someone could change Wikipedia names.
I feel like your name is Kyler. Like, you're probably better than someone named Gabriel.
Remember Gabe?
Is he still a thing?
Yeah, is he alive?
He blocked me years ago.
Oh, I'm sure you didn't deserve it at all, Lance.
I would assume that.
Should I ask around?
I would assume he's in jail. Oh, Kyler Phillips is a lab guy.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for the last 5 minutes.
I'm researching the card. I haven't looked at it yet.
Fair.
Come on, guys. I didn't know we were doing the show until the last minute. And then also, all day today, I thought it was Wednesday.
You're all kinds of fucked up, aren't you?
I'm barely making it.
You'll be all right, Lance.
I don't think so.
Yeah, get hold yourself.
I'm going to the NCAA wrestling tournament next month, though, so that's good.
You're just edging until then, eh? You'll just be edging until then?
Yeah.
All right, next fight. What do we got?
I'm looking them up. I've heard of one of these guys.
Yep. One of these guys should beat the shit out of the other guy.
Seems likely.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Wake up.
Yeah, no, I was reading something. I was actually reading something. I was doing a Lance.
On your face.
Main card, thank God. Yeah, this is like the worst undercard. Too many no names. But it might be like super entertaining. It usually happens that way.
I'll never know. This dude's last fight, this Derek Minor guy, was in something called DCS 57.
The fuck is DCS 57?
So he beat some dude in DCS 57, Seasons Beatings, 2019.
I like that.
And after he won that fight against 14-14 Charlie Dubray, he got the call.
This is a last-minute booking.
Why didn't they call me?
I gotta see where DCS 57 was.
I can make 55 by tomorrow morning.
Oh, this was in Nebraska.
Oh yeah, so he's got one of those Nebraska records.
No, usually having a Nebraska record means you have like an inflated record. This dude's 14.
Lance, who did he beat? Charlie who?
Charlie Dubray, 14-14.
Did you say Dubray? I said Dubray.
Dubray. He's the 14-14 Nebraska guy.
He also is a winner for Clay Collard from 2018.
All of his fights end by rear naked choke.
And a loss to Herbert Burns.
Yeah, that was the one on the Contender Series. Grant Dawson was supposed to fight Chaz Kelly. I was going to have a pretty sizable bet on Grant Dawson in that fight, but of course it had to fall apart, so now we get this, and Grant Dawson should smash this guy, and then we can forget about it.
He also lost to Chico Camus in 2017. Yeah, he hasn't beat anybody good. Okay. I lost to Luke Sanders, too, at one point. Okay, Lance?
I like Grant Dawson a lot here. I don't know who this fella is. He doesn't seem real. But, I mean, minus 470 is steep.
It is steep. It's steep, eh?
It's steep, eh?
I'll take Grant Dawson, too, but I agree. 470 is steep. Yeah. I would want to see the first round and then live bet Grant Dawson. That would be my play. But I don't think that's going to work because he'll probably win the first round and then you're paying. It's just not worth it at that point. All right. Megan Anderson. Yeah. New Sean likes to talk about Megan Anderson, I think.
No, I don't.
Who the hell is Norma Dumont? That's not a real name, Norma Dumont Viena.
They literally call people up 10 minutes before the fight to try to keep this stupid division no one wants around.
Lance, if someone's named Norma, can they fight?
I feel like they're 60 years old.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the Legend Circuit.
This card blows.
All right, next. Let's
and the co-mains all women's featherweight. After how bad the undercard was, 2 of the fights on the main card are women's featherweight.
Why couldn't they just put? They couldn't have Anderson and Spencer face each other again after the last abomination of that fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Ion and Cute Labia taking on Magomed and Kalaev. This is the second best fight on the card.
Easily.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this is going to be really good.
And then Allen and Breeze is probably the third best fight, and then maybe Nordiev and Brazier after that.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Okay.
This should be a fun one. Ankalaev has been good, other than when he's fighting the Bear Jew, which I'm sure Lance will touch on in his breakdown. Ankalaev just doesn't get hit. I think Cute Labia's only way to win is to blitz him right off the bat and knock his ass out. I was feeling frisky, so I threw a half unit on Cute Labia in round 1 at plus 425. Probably doesn't hit. I think the smarter play is probably just putting Ankalaev in a parlay, but I'll pass just because Cute Labia hits hard. And I think Ankalaev will strike with him a bit, so it gives you a shot.
All right, Lance.
Yeah, I like the Russian fella in this one. I don't really think what is it? Cute Labia is what you call him.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Yeah. I don't think he's that great. He has done some good knockouts. He has some good power. But I don't know. I've never thought that high of him. I think anytime he faces someone with a little bit more skills to do extra things and do other things and wrestle and strike, he normally doesn't do very well. So I do like the Russian here, and I will probably put him in a parlay.
Let me see. I got Q Labia C-, Ankalaev a C. I mean, I've always kind of liked Q Labia as a fighter, but I think he's flawed. Ankalaev, other than that Mook moment against Lance's boy and fellow named Bear Jew, he's been awesome and dominant in the UFC. I think he's obviously one to watch. in this division, and he's a real threat. He's just more talented than Q-Labia, and he's going to get the win. All right, co-main event. I let Shaun talk about this because it involves Canadian pound for pound number 3.
She's fake Canadian. She's not even real Canadian. She's a fucking
It's
Florida
like fake
girl.
Boston.
Why?
Why
is she fake again?
Because she was born in Canada and then moved
How
to
is that
Florida
fake?
right away.
Lance, tell me
Because she's lived in Florida her entire life. That means
Lance,
you're not
tell me
Canadian.
that's fake. She was born on his soil.
You should
Nah,
claim
you can
any
have
kind of athleticism you can, Shaun.
I do not want her. I do not claim her. She is going to finish this fight, though. The chick she's fighting got subbed by fucking Megan Anderson last time.
Oh, that's bad.
And Spencer is a way better grappler than Megan Anderson. I was able to get fight doesn't go to the decision at minus 155 when it came out. I put a unit on that, and then I put Spencer sub at minus 160 for a half a unit. She's going to choke this chick out, and it's going to be over fairly quickly, which is good for everyone.
Lance, just skip this.
Who's this?
Yeah, exactly. Spencer's going to win. She's an 8-1 favorite, and she's facing a complete mook. All right, main event time. We got this far. All right, and a title fight. Who knew? A title fight in Norfolk, Virginia. Okay. Joseph Benavidez, the man, the Olivi piece, taking on Davison Figueiredo. Winner takes vacant UFC flyweight championship. Shaun, break it down.
Yeah, this should be an awesome fight. Figueiredo is obviously, I think, easily the most athletic flyweight in that tiny ass division. So with that comes some opportunities to get some crazy knockouts early and possibly some chokes early. I don't think he chokes out Benavidez, but he could catch him early. If Benavidez can not get knocked out in the first, I think he's going to start to take over in this fight. Better wrestler, better cardio. I think he is the cleaner striker. He just has a power disadvantage here. I think if this fight goes any distance, then Figueiredo's probably going to gas out, and Benavidez probably taps him out or pounds him out on the ground. So I'm pretty big on Benavidez. I know there is that small chance that Figueiredo gets him early, so that is a bit scary. I got Benavidez at minus 125 when it dropped there. I couldn't believe it went down that low. So 3 units on that, and then as kind of a sort of hedge / I think Benavidez finishes him late. I took fight doesn't go to decision at plus 130. I put a unit and a half on that.
Lance, main event.
Yeah, I love Derby in this fight. I like Shaun. I do think he's better. He's actually better everywhere. I think if this fight was on the feet, I don't think he's getting crushed by any means. He doesn't.
He is not better power than.
No, just the power difference. That's all I think.
Yeah, the power difference is there.
Power.
But in terms of striking, like I think he's just as good as a striker as him on the feet. He just doesn't have the power, but he's crisp, he's fast, he's got fast hands. But I think this is going to go to the wrestling and then the cardio. Joe B's got his great cardio. His wrestling is always on point. He's got some decent ground and pound. He's got some submissions. I like Joe B here, and he's had a very interesting career, obviously, with him getting the title fights and coming up just short. But if he lost to him, like, would that be the worst loss of his career? I mean, the Sergio Pettis fight to me was just a bad decision.
Okay.
I thought he won that fight.
Let me just take a look.
Outside of that, he lost.
Like, obviously, the only guys he loses to are champions. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's not I don't think that's a hot take you say.
Yeah, obviously.
No. The point being, this is finally the time where he's going into a fight and he's facing someone he should beat. And Joe B, for his entire career, has beaten who he was supposed to. And really, he's lost to guys that were a level above him. And I don't think that's the case here. And I think, once Mighty Mouse left the division, I feel like he kind of stepped it up a little bit, because who was he fighting? It was like a year and a half ago. He was an underdog to, who was it? It was someone decent, but like a young guy. He just fought.
Alex Perez.
Yeah,
it wasn't an underdog though.
And he beat him bad.
It was just tight. Yeah, he smashed him. Everybody kind of thought.
It was a
myself.
pick 'em or something. Yeah, it was right after that Pettis decision, and it was like a pick 'em or something. Everyone kind of was far away from him, and then Yeah, and then also the Ortiz fight I feel like was a pretty close line. Like it wasn't big.
Yeah, it wasn't that big. It was 2-1, I think.
And then the Formiga fight was also, what was he, minus 125?
Was it that low?
Yeah, it's the best line available at time of fight was minus 125. He was only minus 220 versus Ortiz.
Ortiz, yeah.
Actually, Benavidez was at plus 115.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I got Benavidez an A-, Figueiredo a B+. I'm actually aligned with Lance on this one. I think this fight ultimately involves grappling in some capacity. Benavidez has a significant advantage there. And he just has to avoid the power striking early, I think. I think if he avoids the power strikes in the opening round, I think Benavidez wins this fight. I think he's very dangerous later on. And taking over this fight. Just avoid the early power from Figueiredo, and he wins the decision. Probably over 5 rounds. I mean, he's a very smart fighter. One of the smarter ones in MMA. As you know, it's just a matter. You know, we thought that Benavidez has kind of slowed down in recent years, but I think he's shown a bit of a renaissance. A bit later in his career, maybe there's the motivation here. Now he's got a chance to win the title and not facing one of the a future Hall of Famer, who basically the only guys he's lost to are Hall of Fame caliber fighters. So this is the Benavidez's best chance to be a UFC champion.
This one's gonna feel good.
Yeah,
it's gonna feel good. Like, and not from a bet perspective, but this one's gonna feel good if he wins this.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see. And it's something that I think this is a guy that actually deserves to be a champion. Kind of like a Faber did, but
Faber's a douchebag.
Yep.
Yeah, but he was around forever.
Joe B seems cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I always like Joe B, and I always like his wife. So.
Yeah, you do. You love his wife.
I do. I'm a fan. Anyway, that does it for this week's episode.
We actually have an awesome card next week. About fucking time. The first actually good card of the calendar year.
Shocker, it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, but the other pay-per-view was trash. The other two
Less than a
pay-per-views
month
were trash.
from Bronx. That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah. That awesome Brazil card is going to be great.
Yeah, we got a couple of really good cards coming up, so we'll have a little bit more for our fans.
Gilbert Burns fighting on that card.
Damian Maia.
That should
That's
be
going to be wicked. Yeah.
Although I wouldn't mind seeing Burns and Dubronx at some point.
Sean, didn't use Burns and Dubronx.
Why not?
What?
Burns is fighting at 170 now.
Yeah.
Fuck him. He can move down.
Yeah.
Why
What were you gonna ask?
would Burns want to get choked out? It's weird.
Because he claims he has the best jiu-jitsu in the sport.
Oh, he's wrong.
I know. That's why I want to see it.
Didn't you already bet Dubronx, Sean?
I didn't end up betting him. We talked about it. The line's has it changed a bunch? Is it shittier now?
I don't. No, what was it? I think Dubronx was.
Oh yeah, it's come down. It's plus 120. I think I could have got like plus 140, but I said fuck it and I left it. But still a good number.
What is it? It's plus
what?
120. God, why is he an underdog? I don't understand. What am I missing? I know I'm blinded. I'm blinded by his beauty.
You are blinded by love.
Kevin Lee got that power.
You really are blinded by love. Yeah.
He knocked out your other buddy, Gregor.
He doesn't know how to strike.
That's true.
That's fair.
Dubronx is a world-class kickboxer
now. he's come a long way.
Dubronx has easily outstruck his last 6 opponents.
To be fair, he also fought Nick Lentz 3 times.
Once during that. Only once.
Oh, believe me, I will be on the same side as you there.
I can't wait to see him choke people dead. So after he beats
Kevin,
away. So I know 3 weeks.
2.
After he is it 2?
Yeah. Well, 2 weeks from Saturday.
Wow. I'm going to be watching the fight from an Indianapolis hotel room, which is not my favorite idea, but
that'll be perfect though. At least you'll have the hotel lotion out. You'll be good to go.
Oh, dude. I'm going to go in the hallway and just rub several out.
He needs it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Beauty.
I wonder who he fights after he chokes Kevin Lee unconscious.
Got to be a top 6, top 5 guy then, right?
I mean, Kevin Lee is what, 6?
Is he that high? Jesus.
I don't know. I'm already looking past Kevin Lee.
Oh, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Kevin Lee's number 8.
8.
What about Dan
Duke
Hooker? Dan Hooker? He's number 5.
Hooker don't want none.
I mean, he could kill Cerrone just to fight somebody of name value.
Imagine Al Iaquinta being ranked above Do Bronx.
There's a lot of...
That doesn't make sense.
Cowboys ranked 6th.
Yeah.
I mean, Al Iaquinta lost to Mitch Clark at one point.
Ooh, you know what we should do? Do Bronx versus Dustin Poirier.
Ooh.
One fight that I would want to see that'll probably never happen ever is Do Bronx Tony Ferguson would be some batshit crazy stuff.
That would be fun.
I think that Poirier is actually angling for a fight with Dan Hooker.
I saw that. Well, Hooker tweeted at him, and then
that's fine.
Poirier said, "Let's do it."
That'd be fun.
Works for me.
I thought Poirier retired.
I
thought he turned into a professional Twitterer.
I thought he was going up to welterweight.
I don't know. He lost, and then he just tweets a lot. Like, he's big into the Twitter game.
I can't believe Aldo's
Don't
fighting.
follow him. It's that easy.
Lance, how does
I don't follow
fight
him
at bantamweight? Explain this to me.
Oh, he's never won at bantamweight, and he hasn't won in like 3 years, and he's got a title shot? Yeah, makes sense.
He's had problems making featherweight. How is he going to go to bantamweight?
He already made it.
We didn't make 125 or 135. He made 136.
Close enough.
And looked like death. I'm gonna laugh. That would be perfect.
I hope he misses weight. I
hope he misses weight too, because fucking the UFC just pushed to have this fight, and then I hope he misses weight, and then it's not for a title. That would be fucking awesome.
It's a guy on a 2-fight losing streak who has never won at this weight class.
Yep.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Like, I don't and for me, like, I would have loved to see the Aljo fight.
Yep.
Like, that would have been like,
Aljo's not Brazilian. That's the problem.
Or Peter Yan.
To me, that as a fan, like, Cejudo's going to beat the shit out of Jose Aldo. Like, I think Aljamain Sterling versus Cejudo is super fucking interesting because on the ground.
Aldo's really screwing his legacy in the sport, but he doesn't give a shit.
Well,
I think he just wants money.
Well, it's not even him. I don't blame him for any of this shit. It's fucking Dana White in the UFC and Henry Cejudo. If you don't draw, you don't get to pick your opponents. That's a rule. Like, all right, Cejudo, you want to pick who you fight?
Well, the problem is there's no Brazilian stars, and they pretty much do one Brazilian pay-per-view card, and there's literally no.
They have a deal. They have a deal to do it.
Drew Bronx can fight again.
Drew Bronx is not a pay-per-view main eventer yet, unfortunately. Soon.
It's not far away.
Soon.
There is one Brazilian main eventer. It just happens to be a female.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You know the deal.
I'm gonna go watch Jewish people murder Nazis.
Perfect.
Yeah, something right up your alley.
I know. I think I might watch Inglourious Basterds this weekend too, just to really get the juices flowing.
Just make sure to self-quarantine.
I just read when I searched Boston accents, an article came up about the corona in the Boston.
I heard about some self-quarantining there. I said that sounds like a great thing.
I flew home Wednesday morning. How am I doing?
So make sure. Well, if all else fails, rent a car and drive home.
I'm already here.
You're where?
I'm in Nashville. I flew home from Boston to Nashville Wednesday morning.
I thought you meant you're going next week. Back there.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
Nah, you're already fucked, Lance.
I don't know. I was supposed to go to San Jose this week, and that moved. Who knows?
I wouldn't recommend that trip.
Hunker down.
You might be stuck there.
I'm just along for the ride, trying to get my status up on Delta because I switched because I hate Southwest, and that's all that matters.
Oh yeah, that's right. You screwed. You had enough of Southwest.
Did I tell you the breaking point? So I've always flown Southwest since I moved to Nashville. So I was a Delta guy my whole life because I lived in Atlanta. Everyone's Delta in Atlanta. Moved to Nashville, so started flying Southwest more, blah blah blah. And I've always disliked Southwest. Their planes are from pre-World War II. I don't like that the stupid people walk up and go, "What's your number?" when you're waiting in line. It's like just like Southwest. You don't have assigned Southwest. You don't have assigned seats. They give you a boarding number, and then you go pick your own fucking seat. So all these morons with the pores, they can't figure out where to stand in line, and then everyone fights for the seat. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, I've never had that experience.
All their planes are fucking awful because they're all old as shit. But the final straw wasn't all that horrible stuff. It was I'm coming back from Oakland, and I'm on a 5-hour flight from Oakland to Nashville. This lady is sitting between me and Evan. This bitch opens up a can of tuna, takes out mayonnaise, and starts mixing tuna together and makes a fucking tuna sandwich.
Pretty deplorable.
And Evan starts like outwardly saying like
poverty sandwich.
Because you've met Evan, haven't you?
Yeah.
Joe, you have, I think.
Yeah.
Like he's like, look at this poor. Like,
that's a poverty sandwich, Lance. That's it.
She took her fucking shoes off, made a tuna fish sandwich from scratch, and then she went to the bathroom like 6 times. She was in the middle because
that's worse. This is why I take the window.
Dude, she went into the bathroom without her shoes on with tuna all over her face.
Oh.
And then I landed and I was like, you know what? I will connect instead of flying Southwest.
Fuck.
Because Delta only flies like to like 8 cities direct.
Yeah.
From Nashville. Luckily, it's like New York, Boston, LAX, like places I go.
Yeah.
And then worst case, I take a 30-minute flight to Atlanta, and then I can connect from anywhere. So yeah, tuna lady.
Horrible.
Yo, tuna fucking lady. Bare feet.
Tuna lady.
I mean, first of all, how unsanitary was this fucking mayonnaise?
That's crazy.
Like she's just like, hey, I'm
That's been
packing
refrigerated in a while.
Like, hey, honey, I'm packing for my trip. Blah blah blah. Oh, don't forget the mayonnaise for your carry-on.
Nasty.
It wasn't like one of those like little packs, you know, that you can buy in grocery stores.
Like the pack, the pack.
No, that would still be horrible on a plane. I'm talking this bitch took out a can of tuna.
Was it Hellman's at least?
I don't know. I was so mortified, and Evan was looking at her like American Psycho.
Oh yeah, he probably would.
Yeah, she fucking ate tuna fish. That fucking old bag. Yeah. Happens. So Southwest sucks, and Delta's better.
There it is.
Boom. Ooh, we should get a sponsorship from Delta.
Good luck, Lance. I'll let you handle that one.
You let us know.
I'll see what I can do. Mr. Delta's a good man.
Mr. Delta. All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Yep, that does it for this week. We'll be back next week with as Newsman says, the best card of the year so far. So should be fun. Title fight, Adesanya and Yolo.
Adesanya's going down like the Twin Towers, baby.
Lance, that's not called for. Well, I'm ending on that note. Goodbye. Goodbye, fans.